One thing that I'm very proud of and that I've been able to work on as I've gained my MBA, I've been able to see where I can apply my MBA knowledge to help me become better. And one area is that going through my MBA program, I was able to gain the knowledge to be able to start my own business. Because I never would have been able to start my own business if it wasn't for my MBA. And this happened earlier this year as me and my wife traveled down to the Navajo reservation to visit our parents. We saw that there were a lot of artists suffering because they were not able to sell their merchandise. Now, how they were able to sell most of their merchandise was through tourists and people coming through and buying their jewelry. But because of the current economic crisis, people were not going on vacations or spending money on luxury items, which meant that these artists were left with excess inventory. So me and my wife came up with the idea of buying this excess inventory from the artists and bringing it up here to Salt Lake to sell. And that way, the artist gets paid up front, and we are able to help put money back into the Navajo reservation economy. Now, we've called our business Treaties, and it's sort of a play on how we have a commitment of helping these artists so that they can be self-sustaining. And this is sort of an example of some of the pieces that we're able to sell. And it's been a great experience for me because it has helped me be able to improve my communication skills when speaking with customers. And I've had to come up with presentations to be able to sell this merchandise. And that has really made me make use of my marketing classes that I take and help me come up with a message that will be universally accepted by those who buy this merchandise. Also, in the running of a business, there's a lot of different expenses and financial statements that have to be made. And I feel that going through my accounting classes has really helped me be prepared to be able to take on these responsibilities. And it has really helped me to be able to, running my own business, to be able to set goals and to set milestones to be able to work towards, and to be able to use my MBA knowledge to be able to improve our business for the future. Now, I'm grateful for the education that I received at WGU because it helped me to be a self-learner, which will be very important for me in the future, and it will help me to be a better asset to a company if I'm able to learn things on my own. And also many of the technologies that I had to use going to WGU, those are some of the things that will be incorporated in the workforce as I see in the future. Now, there are things that I need to work on to improve myself. And one very important thing that I have to work on is I have to be able to work on setting more concrete goals for myself and working towards those goals. And I got to keep an important note in mind, and that is that when I accomplish a goal that I should reward myself. And that kind of leads me towards having a more positive attitude which I can use because it kind of becomes infectious in the workplace if you have a good attitude. Now, there's an important note in that, you know, the workforce has changed so rapidly that, you know, companies are no longer focused on looking out for their employees. So it really is up to an employee to be able to kind of look out for their own career. And that's where career networking comes into play. And I believe it is one of the most important things that someone can use is the skills of job networking. Now, job networking is not that complicated. All it really is just coming up with a list of people that you know and continually keep in contact with them. And through that way, you'll be able to find job opportunities. Because statistically, 60% of all jobs are found through job networking. And most jobs are never posted by companies, but are found by those who actually work for the company and the recommendations that they make. Now, there are some tips that I need to follow in order to make myself a more successful networker. And one thing is that I need to become more sociable, and I also need to be sociable in my personal life and in my professional life, so that, you know, I just get to know as many people as I can. And the second thing is I will probably want to join a professional organization. And in these organizations, the members sort of look out for each other. And so that's something that it will be useful in the future. And the third thing is that I will want to keep up with my volunteering. And I've kind of set a goal for myself that each month I want to do a volunteer project. And volunteering is a wonderful thing because you're helping other people, but it's wonderful in other aspects because you're able to meet people that you normally wouldn't be able to meet normally. And you will be able to get some work references out of that. And the last thing is just to be as helpful as possible to those around you, because I believe in the sort of the golden rule that, you know, do unto others as you would like done unto yourself. So that's kind of the principle that I'd like to take my career and live by. Now, getting my MBA has been one of the most hardest things I've ever done, but it's also been one of the most rewarding things in terms of gaining new confidence and gaining new knowledge to be able to go out and to really see where I can be an asset to a company. But I will never forget what my father told me as I first began my college education. He kind of set me aside and he told me that you need to go out and gain as much education and skills as possible so that you can one day come back to the Navajo reservation and help your people become a more self-sustaining people. And that was his vision for what I could become. And I have been striving ever since to be able to live up to that principle, that one day I will be able to return home to my people on the Navajo reservation and to be able to be an example and to be able to help them to grow and prosper.